me put on the spectacles.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Paid in Passion. Let your
Sir.
passion work for you. So today I have one of my great friends, also a fellow UG alum, because you know just how we do it.
Yeah, Bulldogs,
Ade Afon.
What's good, y'all? My name is Ade. Shout out to that boy Josh and pursuing Paid in Passion and this new adventure. I'm very excited to see where it takes you.
So I guess the first question that we always start off with is, what is the passion that's paying you right now?
So we're here for Elevate. So funny story is actually don't pay me right now, which is something I definitely will get into. Just with the fact of reinvesting profits and whatnot.
Right.
But Elevate is a boutique. We buy, sell, and trade streetwear, shoes, vintage, high fashion. Our goal is to elevate our customer style. So whatever it is that's unique, that's gonna add to your closet and make you say, okay, like I put this on, like I look good, I feel good. That's our goal.
Okay, so is that kind of where you got your name from? Elevate Thrift is to kind of elevate your customers' wardrobe.
Right. So yeah, essentially, it kind of like morphed into it. Originally, the name actually came from my sister. Elevate Shop was like what it was before. I used to do something called drop shipping.
Okay.
And I asked her like, what should I call it, and she told me Elevate Shop. So shout out to her. And then at that point, when we started the business back in 2019, I pitched it to the team. I was like, what y'all think about Elevate? So we dropped the shop and we just called it Elevate Thrifts.
Okay. Yeah. So I noticed that you just used the word team. Can you kind of share with us the structure of Elevate Thrifts?
Yeah. So right now we're operating as an LLC. It's three of us: me, Ike, and Dante. I don't know if I need to say names, but like each person has a role. So like my role would be basically facilitating meetings, helping to lead the direction of the business alongside with Ike and Dante as well. And also like my operational role is buying, which is basically just whatever you see on the page is from likely what I bought to for us to resell.
Okay.
And then Ike's job is like page management, basically, or inventory management, and basically receiving the inventory and then taking pictures of it. Like he'll have a unique way of piecing together a pair of kicks with some shorts and the tee so that it looks good for the page. Right. And he'll take a picture of it, and then he'll also ship out those orders. And then Dante, he manages the website and also does like data. So at the end of each month, we'll have like monthly reports kind of showing how much we did in sales, profit, and just helping to lead the direction forward based on numbers, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and he played a huge role in building the website and whatnot.
Okay. So how you guys have these different roles a part of your team? Is this something that you guys were, I guess, to say like innate? This was you guys' natural nature for you to facilitate Dante to use, analytics and more with the website, and then I with more of a, I guess, styling kind of aspect. Is that something that came natural? Is that like natural abilities, or is this just something that you said, all right, these are the things that we need to get done. Let's get it and just kind of choose what you not necessarily want to do, but what's just best for the team.
Right. It was a little bit of both. So we knew there were going to be certain roles that we needed filled in order to operate the business. And from there, I knew buying is something like I like and also that I'm good at. So I volunteered for that role. Dante knew he was good at data. And it kind of like it was kind of fluid because like it was a point where we had someone doing like the Instagram, you know what I'm saying? Like when we had more team members and stuff like that. So it's kind of fluid, but over time, yes, we did kind of shape into or fill in the shoes that we had to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now you kind of mentioned that you used to have more team members and now it's three of you guys. Can you kind of tell me like the pros and cons of having a team? Because I know that teams can again elevate your whole process of a lot of things, but again, there's also cons of having a team, especially when it comes to I guess just different different ooh, again, different people.
Are you like editing and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, at first we started off with 6 people. It was 6 of us. Yeah, it was 6 of us. And what was the question? Like, just how do
Like
we
pros and cons.
pros and cons? Okay, so pros, I would say definitely just what each person brought to the table, because that original team played a huge role in where we are today in terms of getting the name Elevate out there. Because I would say each person definitely was like have emotion on campus, which helped solidify the name Elevate on
Right.
campus, and like it was bringing people to the pop-ups and whatnot. And each person brought like a unique aspect to the team, whether it was like the aesthetics of the store or just like certain inventory that they were bringing to shops and whatnot. So that was a huge pro, being able to have different perspectives. A con was definitely just managing all those different perspectives and personalities, because like there's a saying that of having too many cooks in the kitchen, which was definitely something that we faced. But I would definitely say another huge pro was having a not a big number, it was 6 of us, but having a lot of people on the team, being able to keep each other accountable. As the adage says, it's like if you want to go far, what was it? Like, you want to go, well, start the whole thing over. If you want to go fast, if you want to go quick, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Okay, I got it. But I would definitely say like, I was over here trying to gather my thoughts mid podcast.
I don't know.
But you read that.
No, I've heard it.
Okay. I didn't know what I was going. Okay.
All right.
So like just us being there together, saying like, okay, this is what we need to work on. We need to do this by this deadline. I'm like saying, okay, you need to do this, or someone's telling me, okay, remember to do this. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're all working together for one common goal. Because I had tried to start Elevate before, like multiple times. I don't know if you remember, but like freshman year when we were first going into school, like I tried to start like this consignment thing.
I do remember some consignment.
Yeah.
I didn't know too many. Yeah. Okay.
And I put it.
Actually, I do remember.
And I put it in our Bugger group chat, and I was like, y'all follow this Twitter page, blah blah blah. But basically, like it didn't end up being anything because it just fell through. Yeah. I was the only one doing it. So like just us being able to have a team together, although we're not like consignment now, we're still a buy, sell, and trade. But just the fact that we are a business, we're a retail shop, and we were able to do it together. Okay. And like from 3 years later, we're still operating and doing well. And that's because I think having a team was definitely a huge part in why Elevate is today. So that's definitely a huge pro as well.
So going with your operations, kind of what was your inspiration to, or were some of the places that you went to kind of like buy and sell, or what were your kind of favorite places to go?
I would say before, because we used to do a lot of like actually thrifting, like going to Goodwill, Park Avenue. Park Avenue was definitely my favorite. Everyone knows that Park Avenue on Lawrenceville Highway, giving out free game right here for anybody who likes to thrift. Like, this is free game.
They gonna hear it, but are they gonna do it?
Thanks. But Park Avenue, they got like 50-cent Thursdays. Literally everything.
50-cent Thursdays.
Everything in the thrift store is 50 cents. I think it's on a Thursday, but it changes day by day. The max it goes up is like $2.50 or something like that. But this is pre-inflation; it could have changed. But that was my favorite spot. But now, like, it's all as time has gone along, our inventory and sourcing has developed too. So like, I don't thrift no more. Like, I basically just get stuff online, whether it's like eBay, Grailed, Depop. And like I've just built a lot of connections to where I can just hit people up, and people hit me up saying like, "Oh, I'm trying to sell this," and so we get a lot of our inventory now.
Okay, So I've just kind of heard how you guys' business continue to grow. So what aspect did it become, an Instagram page, website into a now LLC?
So started September 2019, and that was when like we did the I don't want to call it infamous, but to me it was infamous because like the YouTube video we did, just because like I remember all of us like huddling together.
Yeah, no, I remember like the promo video.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Like us
yeah.
putting our ideas together and just seeing it come to fruition was dope. With the original team and whatnot. So at that point, we like launched the YouTube, and then we launched on Instagram. Originally, we were just going to sell off of Instagram, which was extremely inefficient. But from there, I had tried to. I built a website back then on using Shopify, but it didn't last. Again, just having so many different people and trying to um, make sure like everyone's posting just became too much. And also we weren't making that much money back then, so we couldn't afford to pay for
Right.
the Shopify. But basically, we dropped the Shopify, just kept doing Instagram. When the pandemic hit, sales were going crazy.
Yeah.
So like, shoot, we had the track jumping for real, like
Yeah.
in Athens Ridge. But yeah, so we're doing Instagram, and then 2021, I think, is when our data guy he mentioned he brought back a website, and that's when we brought the website back, and like that just makes orders.
One pause real quick. What is this website called?
ElevateThrifts.com. Go shop, get right.
And while we're at it, what's the Instagram?
Elevate Thrifts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Follow.
For sure. Follow. Check out our inventory. Shoot us any ideas. We're always looking to grow, always looking to learn. But yeah, so he built the website, he brought the website back, and that took a lot of time off of our hands, made us so much more efficient. We didn't have to do orders through the Instagram anymore and keep up with shipments, tracking numbers, and it was very clunky. And then from there, 2021, we also incorporated. That's when we formed our LLC and whatnot. Got to like 10,000 Instagram followers that year as well. Did like 100,000 in sales a few months back. So like
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it, bro. We definitely come a pretty long way.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Something I wanted to say for anyone looking for or who is interested in entrepreneurship, not only at UGA. I know for sure UGA has this program, the entrepreneurship program. It's called Kickstart. They got a Kickstart fund. Basically, they'll give you money for your business, anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000. From my understanding, if they still operate like that, they may have increased it because I know they have partners like Truist. And,
Truist so this is really a legitimate program.
Right. It's an Oregon campus, but basically they helped us with our business. And it's just a free.
Yeah. They like your idea, they invest.
Exactly.
Well, they even invest, they just give you like a grant.
And exactly. It's a grant. And like it's not like you're competing against other people. Like they literally have so much money to where it's like they're just giving it out. If you have a good idea that's scalable, like it's viable, you're already doing business, you know what I'm saying? Like they're most likely will give you money.
All this time I thought it was like a competition, like first place, second place, third. Oh, okay.
Literally, we had 2 interviews and then boom, we got it.
That's good.
So
Kickstart for those who are UGA. Kickstart. And for other schools, be on the lookout for similar programs. Do you know if they do it also community kind of Kickstart programs that's not connected to a university?
We've been looking at some of those, but nah. I know there's a lot of grants you can look into, whether it's your city or if you're a Black business or a female CEO or anything like that. But yeah, Kickstarter is the only one. But no, they're definitely out there though. For sure. It's just a matter of research.
You got to research. Okay, that's good. That's good.
A lot of people probably, don't really know what a pop-up is or how someone is even able to, have their own pop-up of their own. So can you kind of like
walk us through the steps
Right.
of, realizing that initially, you had your Instagram page and your website, but now you want to do a pop up, and how you kind of make that into fruitation.
Right. So basically, actually, honestly, just a matter of just being courageous and yeah. So I was walking down. We had discussed doing a pop up, but we didn't really know where. We were probably brainstorming different venues in Athens when we were all in school. And I happened to be downtown Athens, and I was walking by a shop. We had just formed the business or like released our like who we are or whatever. And I just went in the shop and said that shop looks really cool. I met the owner. He was there, and then I just asked him if he would be down to let us have a pop up over there, and he was down. He was with it. So like literally the first person I asked, like he was cool. Like that was definitely a blessing. So from there, it was just a matter of planning. Okay, like of course we have to pay a certain amount to rent out the space.
Right.
I have to look into security. I have to look into logistics on like how long we can be there, how we're gonna get all the inventory there. So that it definitely takes a lot of planning on the back end. But I mean, shoot, whatever it is that you're looking to do, pop up, function, whatever it is, like there's gonna be venues out there, and then like this whole thing with entrepreneurship or your passion, like you can really just create space or create
Right.
what it is that is not there. Like if there's not a pop up or a venue that you feel like could be fitting towards what you want or what your passion is, I would definitely encourage just thinking outside of the box and like creating whatever it is and bringing it into like an actual thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I can even use this podcast for example, because I mean I'm obviously not using the same setting as my first episode, but I'm not really using that as a limitation to myself. I think it even adds more to me and my drive to show if I really want to do this, if I really want to make these episodes, I'll really go anywhere and do anything for me to actually, have these episodes for my audience. So I definitely agree with, if you want to get something done, you have to be courageous and actually perform the action. But then after that, do whatever you have to do to make it work.
Right.
All right. So that's good. That's good. So I do want to come back again. We're kind of talking about time in Athens. You had a pop up in Athens. So can you tell us about kind of what you majored in school and kind of what your career goal was at the time?
Yeah, so I studied management information systems, and I was looking to do business like right out of college, consulting. That's what I did for a couple of years. But I always knew like I wanted to be an entrepreneur or like work for myself. Like that was always the end goal. I was just more so doing consulting so I could get exposure to a whole bunch of businesses and how they operate. What they're doing to create their competitive advantages and what's making them a great business in corporate America.
Okay, that's smart. That's smart.
Right. So, and as a problem solver, like that was just naturally consulting was something that naturally came to me. And the second part of the question was what?
That was like your career goals. So you kind of touched on that.
Facts. Like entrepreneur. Yeah, for sure.
So just going into clothing, was clothing kind of a creative outlet? Was like style and fashion like a creative outlet that you liked? I guess like growing up, were you interested in type of clothes, or was this something that came to realization in your later years?
I would definitely say it came like really early, like middle school. Shoes particularly, like I was really big into Jordans mainly. I remember I got my first pair of Jordans in 8th grade, but like you heard of them 8.0s?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
So I got some 8.0s.
Right here,
I got some Jordan Retro 8.0s. I remember it was like Christmas break. This was 7th grade actually. And I was in the mall. Like I seen them for like 160. I was finna buy them. But my mom was like, "Nah, that's too expensive for your pair of shoes." Blah blah blah. And bro, thank God for my mom. But you know how blown I'll be if I bought that. Anyways, so then I went to downstairs to this store called DTLR. They had a pair for like 80, $90. I was like, "Oh yeah, for sure. Like,
Yeah.
this is half the price." I
Yeah.
guess they had it on sale or something like that. So I ended up getting those. Man, I felt like the freshest kid on the block. I went to school, like the after winter break, something like that. And I just remember not flamed, but like one of my boys, he was like, "Bro, like those are not retros. Like
That's
what are
not
you
what you think
doing
it is.
at all, bro?" Like I just remember like my dreams, not even my dreams, but like I was blown.
Yeah.
So like I ended up selling those on eBay, but basically, so that was my first pair of Jordans, and then my first pair of retros for real were the flu games,
Okay.
12s.
Nice.
I ended up getting those ninth grade. So I just always had a really big interest in Jordans. Like literally, I remember coming home after school. I'll be on the computer all day, like just researching Jordans, retros, different colorways that they've had, different designers and stuff like that. And I started selling and buying heavy, like ATATF. Shout out to them. They're definitely um like the pioneers for like the sneaker market,
the whole sneaker market
in Atlanta for real.
selling and
Right.
buying.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was doing it on eBay a lot heavy, like selling and whatnot. So that's where the interest came from. And then from there just kind of cultivated my style and my look as the years came along.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good. So do you have any type of advice to, young entrepreneurs and even those who, one thing, well, first question, do you have any advice for like young entrepreneurs?
Definitely like honestly, I would say figure out what you're passionate about. Um and that takes a lot of self-reflection and
Right.
self-awareness. And I always say start with what you find yourself doing every day. You know what I'm saying? Like hobbies, you know what I'm saying? Some people are really good with content creation, some people are really good with graphic design or sewing, like whatever it is, like just things that you find yourself doing out of love for it, you know what I'm saying? And then asking yourself, okay, is this something that I want to monetize? And there's honestly no pressure. Like I know a lot of time on the internet, there's like so much pressure on like, oh, turn your turn this like a hobby into something that's going to get rid of your 9 to 5. And it's like it doesn't even have to be like that, you know what I'm saying? But if you do want it to be like that, it can be like that. So it's just like, just figuring out what do I love, what am I passionate about, and then pursuing it, like coming up with a game plan, like writing down, okay, like this is what I love, this is what I want to do with it, this is where I want to take it, you know what I'm saying? And having a plan, like you, for example, like I already told you, like I was amazed by the fact that you already had videos before you even released what Paid in Passion was. So like just having a plan and making sure like it's something that you can execute on. And I'll just share a story. Like Elevate is, or like a consignment store is something I always wanted to start. Like I remember back in middle school, my dad told me to write down my goals. And a consignment store is something that I wrote down, and it was something I was able to do. So
that's good.
Right. So just putting things on paper honestly goes a long way.
Yeah. Making it changes those thoughts into something more tangible.
Right.
Because like how every time I talk to someone about this platform that I have now, I've actually had the idea for a platform about a year or two now. And I've just always, had small conversations about it. Or, I have so many voice recordings of, I'm driving or something. I just have a thought, and I was like, okay, let me record this real quick. Or, I'm on the bus, especially like back at UJ, I'm on the bus, I have a thought. Let me talk it out. But once I actually said, let me put these thoughts on paper, that's when I brought up my Google Doc, and like literally I'm just typing every thought that I ever had, it took me forever to create this name. Like that was probably the hardest thing for me to do out of the entire thing was the name that was able to be marketed. So I have like 10 different idea names. I'm just writing it out and I'm just saying it out loud. I was like, not that one. Let me switch it. Not that one. Not that one. Till literally I was in the shower and Pain and Passion came up to me because that's one thing I guess when you really want to do something, it's like it's always on your mind. Like how you said, like you're walking throughout Athens and you saw a shop and the first thing for you to say is like, let me talk to this owner to see if we can do a pop-up here. Like it's always on your mind. So I was in the shower. I was like, Pain and Passion. I'm talking about. Got out the shower. I was like, I gotta write this down now because a lot of us think we're gonna remember some things, but we're not.
Right.
We're not. So you go ahead and write it down. So that's really how all those things kind of came to be right now. And I'm pretty excited to see how far this goes.
For sure. We're all excited, man. We're rooting for you.
Thank you. And I also want to touch on, again, something that you mentioned before, just seeing something that you do every day. One thing about passions, because again, as a teacher, I don't know, y'all didn't get into that yet. A lot of my students kind of mention how they don't really know what their passions are. That's like a big problem for them. And I literally asked them, okay, so what do you do? What do you like to do? A lot of them say, yeah, I like to draw. I like to dance. I like to do this. But I don't know what that can, they don't know what that can develop into. But if you see your story now, we can see now that you're big on taking initiative. You're big on facilitating. So these are just, personal qualities that you're able to transfer into another realm now. So like those, and even again with you said you like shoes, and that's kind of what started your passion walk. But people have different areas that you can still go into. So you can be fashion, you can go into fashion merchandising, you can go into modeling, you can go into styling, you can go into consignment. So just these different avenues that sparks from one interest. So that's kind of one thing I'm big on this. Like you might hear something and now, okay, this sparks something, but now take it to the next realm. Drawing can go into graphic design so easily. Dancing can go into content creation, backup dancing, all these type of things that people do with that form of art. So that's kind of, that's what we're leading up to. So I really do appreciate what you're doing with Elevate Thrifts. I definitely have shots. I got my tea, somewhere around here.
You want to get it?
It's good. It's good. Do you have any advice?
Oh shoot, I got it on.
Yeah.
I'm tripping. Yeah, you see it?
Yeah,
for sure.
I had to get it. Do you have any advice for me?
For you,
just going
man.
with this?
Honestly, just keep going. Like I've seen so many people start projects and they're going hard for it when it first starts, and then a couple months later, it's like, all right, I just turned it to whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't really see you being that type of person, especially with just like how hard you came off rip, and like I can see. I mean, I just seen the interview with Drayton. Shout out to Drayton, and the fact that you're doing another interview right now, you feel me? Like that speaks to your work ethic. So, definitely keep going. Just being consistent, and trust that it's gonna be a long game. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody blows up overnight.
Right.
It's definitely gonna take time. That's definitely a huge part of it as well. And have fun with it.
Yeah.
I mean, knowing you, like you're gonna do that regardless. You know what I'm saying? I definitely say like this is like the perfect fit for you. So
I appreciate that.
Definitely excited to see where you take it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So this is the last thing. Say we just dropped you in the middle of the island, right? And you're walking around, you see a coconut tree, and you're wondering, how am I supposed to get the fruit off the tree, right? Next thing you know, you get a monkey that runs up on you. You get a squirrel that runs up on you. And you got a snake that slithers up on you. And you have to choose one of the animals to get the apple off the tree. Which one are you choosing?
You got a monkey that ran up on you, a squirrel that what?
Ran up on you.
Okay.
And you got a snake that slithered up on you. what's gonna be the animal that you can only choose one animal.
They guess the what other tree?
There's only one animal that can get the apple out the tree.
An apple? I thought you were gonna say a banana. I would have said the monkey. Shoot. Get the apple. Well, still the monkey.
Monkey?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that? Are you locking that in?
I mean, can I go up the tree?
You can't make it all the way to the apple.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Monkey.
Are you locking that in?
Am I missing something? Like
I just want to make sure that you're locking that in.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure. Yeah. Monkey.
So unfortunately, coconut trees don't produce apples.
Oh, you said coconuts. Yeah, I knew it was something, bro. I didn't even.
Unfortunately,
I'm listening too hard.
But thank you guys for tuning in to Paid in Passion. Let your passion
Sir.
work for you.